I adopted Draco on a cold Tuesday afternoon. The shelter was dim and quiet, the kind of place that smelled faintly of bleach and old fear. The staff member who brought me to him looked almost relieved. "He's been returned 3 times, she said, unlocking the cage. "Not for health reasons, just strange behavior." I asked what kind of behavior. She hesitated. "People say he watches them while they sleep. One person claimed he talked." She forced a laugh, but her hands were shaking. Draco sat at the back of the cage, unmoving, jet black, lean, with golden eyes that looked almost aware. He didn't hiss or flinch. He just looked at me. That look, not curiosity, not fear, something older. I should have walked away. Instead, I signed the papers and took him home. He didn't explore. Most cats sniff everything, rub up against furniture, test their boundaries. Draco walked through my apartment like he already knew it. He went straight to the living room, hopped onto the back of the couch, and stared at the front door. That first night, I woke up at 3:03 a.m. cold, disoriented. Draco sat on my chest, his eyes inches from mine. He didn't blink. He didn't move. I shoved him off. He returned 5 minutes later. After that, the dreams began. The first one was smoke and fire. I stood in a burning field while something whispered just beyond the flame. Draco was there, too, watching from a distance, silent, still. Each night, the dreams grew darker. I wandered hallways that bled from the walls. Shadows whispered from inside mirrors. Draco always appeared somewhere, at the foot of the bed, perched on a stairwell, his gaze following me. By the end of the first week, I was waking up exhausted, heart pounding, drenched in sweat. Then came the marks. They weren't scratches. They weren't from claws. They were patterns, deliberate and geometric, carved lightly into my arms and legs while I slept. Circles, intersecting lines, symbols that hung in the back of my mind like I should understand them. One morning, I woke to find one of the marks tattooed across my lower ribs. Not carved, inked. Black and perfect, as if done professionally. I don't have tattoos. I started locking Draco out of my room at night. The first time I did it, I heard a low thud at 3:03. A .m, like something heavy had hit the door. I didn't check. The next night, I blocked the door with furniture. He still got in. I woke to him sitting on my chest again, staring down at me like he was disappointed. The locked door was wide open. Nothing was broken. I bought cameras, left them recording overnight. The footage never captured anything unusual until I paused one clip, frame by frame. At 3:03 a.m., Draco turned toward the camera and smiled. A human smile, lips, teeth, too many teeth. I deleted the footage. I drove him out of the city the next day, a state park remote. I left him near a campsite with food, water, and his blanket. I didn't say goodbye. When I returned home, my apartment was dark. My phone was dead. All the lights flickered as I stepped inside. Draco sat on the kitchen counter, perfectly dry, waiting. That night he spoke. It wasn't a voice, not really. It was pressure in my skull, like words pressed directly into the space behind my eyes. I was frozen, unable to scream, unable to breathe. "One more night," he said. His mouth didn't move, but I heard it. The temperature dropped. The shadows in the room stretched toward him like they were listening. When I finally moved, I ran to the bathroom and flicked the light on. My reflection wasn't in sync. It blinked late. It smiled when I didn't. Behind me, Draco sat on the toilet lid, watching both of us. I stopped sleeping. I boarded up the windows, salted the floors, burned sage incense, candles, books. Nothing worked. Draco never left. He began moving in ways that made no physical sense, disappearing from locked rooms, appearing in the refrigerator when I opened it. I stopped opening things altogether. I called the shelter. A different voice answered. When I mentioned Draco, they went silent. "I'm sorry," the woman said finally. "We've never had a cat by that name. Are you sure you adopted him here?" I read the adoption form. My signature was there. Draco was handwritten in ink, not mine, at the top. At the bottom, barely visible beneath the fine print, was one sentence in faded red. He chooses the house, not the other way around. I searched online for anything similar. I posted anonymously to forums, supernatural, occult, paranormal. One reply stuck with me. "If he speaks, you're already claimed." I started hearing the voice even when Draco wasn't nearby, in the hum of my appliances, and static, in the silence between footsteps. Always the same message. One more night. One more night. One more night. But that was 4 nights ago. Today there are new symbols on my walls drawn in some kind of black resin. I didn't draw them. They curve around door frames, spiral into corners. My mirrors no longer reflect the room. Just darkness. Endless, pulsing black. And in the center of the living room ceiling, a hole is forming, circular, breathing, like it's waiting to open. Draco sits below it, eyes locked on me. He hasn't smiled again. He hasn't needed to. I don't think he's a cat. I don't think he ever was. He's something wearing the shape of a cat. Something old. Something hungry. Tonight is the final night. The real one. I'm not afraid of dying. I'm afraid I won't. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Also comment what kind of stories you want to hear next.